You guys have probably seen that there were these graphics of a new 21 Pilots logo, as well as a bunch of text kind of going around the border and kind of a fiery background. These TV screens were in a public location in Warsaw, Poland. Chances are that these images are going to be popping up in different locations as well. So if any of you guys see any of these in real life, let the click know. Let's talk about the words around the border. The letters were very kind of like square shaped and shrunken, like kind of squeezed in. So when they're all next to each other like that in a rectangular border, it looks very cryptic and kind of hard to read, but it's actually just the same word over and over in different directions, and that word is Clancy. I got my journal out and I was like, okay, I'm gonna write down these letters to try to figure it out, because I wanted to see if maybe a letter was missing somewhere, or because I knew there was a bunch of Clancy's in it, but I didn't know that every single word was Clancy. This is my recreation of it. The proportions aren't exactly right. I think I missed a couple of Clancy's on the top and the bottom, but the left and right borders are exactly the same as the photo. If you look here, right now, you can see these dark blue Clancy's are, in the correct direction right now, as well as on this side, these light blue Clancy's. These like double Y's, which connect two of the Clancy's, and then there's also parts where there's double C's, so it's just a C next to a C, which connects the Clancy's. So the C's aren't connected physically like the Y's are, but that's kind of how it's set up. Right now, we can see these 4 Clancy's are in the right kind of orientation, I guess. And then if we turn this way, now we can see these Clancy's are facing the right way, as well as on this side, these Clancy's are facing the right way. And then if we turn again, these Clancy's are now facing the right way. And then if we turn one more time, we'll get the remaining Clancy's facing the right way. And you can see here again, like I pointed out, that these Y's connect, and then the C's are just kind of next to each other, like for example here. This is on the side of the straight line in the logo. So I wrote this Clancy, and then I would have to do like a full kind of like 180 to then write the next Clancy. So again, it's on the straight line of the logo, and now the Clancy's going this way. And then I'd have to flip it another 180 again to write it this way. So that was kind of like the idea they were going for, where if you're just seeing this on a TV screen, you're like, whoa, that looks so cryptic. What is it saying? My handwriting is very like spaced out. Every letter is very clear. So it's a lot easier to see that this is a separate word than this. Whereas in the original, they were all very weird shapes. The C's were very short vertically, so they don't really look like C's unless you know it's a C. They just kind of look like almost a 0 or an O. Same with the L's. The vertical line in the L is very short, as opposed to the horizontal line of the L being very long. Same with the A. I guess you would say the legs of the A are very short. The N is also very short vertically, making it look kind of more like a Z from the other direction. And the Y's were vertically very short as well, which I think really added to that kind of cryptic lettering that makes it look like, when you put all of this next to each other, it just looks like a lot of weird letter shapes. Is it even supposed to spell something? But it just says Clancy over and over and over again in different directions. So I wanted to see if there was anything hidden in between the Clancy's, but I didn't see any extra letters in there. Everything was exactly Clancy over and over again. On the left and right sides, there were 4 Clancy's each, and then on the top and bottom, there were 8 Clancy's each. And that adds to a total of 24 times that Clancy is written in this border here. I don't know if the number 24 is going to be significant of something. There's also, in the 4 corners, there were these Y's that match the Y's exactly used to spell Clancy in the rest of the photo, but they're facing their respective corners. Having these Y's in the corner creates that illusion of a border and a cycle, instead of just having the edges disconnected from each other. This shape of a grid with 9 pieces shows up on the Blurry Face album cover with the 9 circles in a grid format. It also shows up on maps of Dima, signifying the 9 bishops. So I think that's definitely a hint out to that, because it's kind of funny, like, these lines aren't really necessary. I mean, they're kind of centering the logo, but it seems like when you're done with the final product, you would remove those lines if you were using them to center. We also see the logo going back to Vessel and Blurryface eras with only having one line each of the original logo. The lines are thicker, which is making the logo look more similar to Vessel era, because in Blurryface the lines were really skinny. But also, there was no circle around the lines in the Vessel era, but the circle was present in both Blurryface and Trench era. So I think this logo is trying to tell us that this music is going to be circling back to the older albums. It's going to be more like Vessel, Blurryface, and Trench than like Scaled and Icy. There isn't really anything in this logo reminiscent of Scaled and Icy. Even Scaled and Icy had an oval around the Psy shape, but even just this logo could be a hint that the music is going to be very different from Scaled and Icy, and it's going to sound a lot more like Vessel, Blurryface, and Trench. The moving background of this image looks like fire. It's red and yellow, kind of looks like flames or smoke. And this sounds a lot like Clancy's newest letter that people were getting in their physical mailboxes, which was about how he had started the fire in Dima at the end of the Outside music video, and he hopes that working together, they will be able to create an inferno. And some people have theories that Inferno could be the next album name. It could even maybe just be a song name. I also wanted to share a theory that I have about all of this. With all of the marketing and propaganda for Scaled and Icy, we had no clue that Clancy wrote those songs. We learned later, after the album had already come out, from a Clancy letter, that the Bishops took Clancy, they put him in a room and made him write the songs for Scaled and Icy, and they were supervising him the whole time to make sure that he could be putting in this demo propaganda into the music. Now, we have Clancy's name all over this marketing. So it's not a secret that Clancy wrote the songs. Clancy's name is there, which could mean that this is Clancy's way of saying, this is the album I would write if the Bishops weren't controlling me and making me say these things that they wanted to say to the citizens of Dima as propaganda. Also, the album name, Scaled and Icy, has the word icy in it. And now we're seeing this fire in the marketing, and also Clancy wrote in his letter about starting the fire and creating an inferno. So we're seeing this very big juxtaposition between Scaled and Icy and the next album, which I think we hoped for and we knew would happen, but it's really cool to see it visually in this way. Thank you guys so much. A bunch of new people have subscribed since my last video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys stick around because there's going to be so many exciting videos coming out as we're getting new music and everything, so I'm so hyped. If you guys have any theories or have heard anything new, please let me know down in the comments. I love reading your guys' comments and responding to them, especially when you guys share theories. It gets me so hyped for what's coming, so don't be afraid to comment, and thank you again so much for watching.